So I was talking to my Airbnb host last time I was checking in Colombia, and he was giving me some game, telling me some stuff I already knew. But me, I like to hear stuff I already know sometimes, just so I can get it drilled in my head extra hard. He was telling me a story about a previous client that he had that was a guy from New York, and he thought he knew everything, and he was trying to tell him what to look out for and what not to look out for, just in a safety aspect, because the guy, he was alone. And of course, some of us, we got egos and we feel like we know everything. So dude wasn't really trying to listen. He was trying to hurry up and get out, get in the city, see some girls and stuff like that. And he ended up getting drugged and robbed later that day, the same day. His first day he got there, he lost $800. It was some Venezuelan girl, and he let her in. He didn't vet her properly, and he ended up getting drugged. Luckily, he didn't lose his life. So when it comes to us, we taking these trips, especially when we're solo, we gotta be aware, and we also have to listen and make sure we know what's really going on in these places. I had to tell y'all that story before we get into this video because safety is very important. We show a lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff over here, but we got to make sure that y'all are being safe when y'all going to these places as well, especially when y'all are using Tinder, man. Me personally, I think meeting people in person is way better, but I know guys like to source women before they get to places sometimes. And sometimes guys just like to have a lot of options before they even get to a place. So I understand all that. But let's make sure we being safe when we are getting on these apps. Tinder is such a weird one because if you go to somewhere where it's a lot of working girls, the app will be full of them. So I understand that it is possible. You don't even have to leave your hotel or Airbnb. You can just keep getting girls coming back to back to back. But in saying that, you got to be safe if you are meeting girls off these apps because yeah, a lot of them, they workers, they just want their money for a fair exchange of services and stuff like that. But there's some of them, they're looking for prey. They're looking for somebody green. They're looking for somebody they can get over. And it's not going to be very easy, especially if you don't know the culture, you don't know the language, to tell which is which. I would not recommend going on these apps looking for something long term. I know some guys have probably done it, and of course, if you're going to a place without a lot of working girls, there are going to be a lot of women on these apps looking for long-term relationships, but they're usually the low-hanging fruit, usually not what you're looking for as far as like attraction-wise. Probably some great women on these apps looking for long-term, but you're better off going on the hunt, being out in public in these places, going to malls, going to um, clubs, going to stores, regular restaurants, and just speaking with normal women. So this is going to be more about being successful on these apps when you're looking for something quick. You're just trying to have fun and just trying to make new friends. You got to start off with your profile, man. Your profile is very important in the fact that just make it simple. Like I said, we're not trying to find our perfect match here. Make it simple, show a little bit of personality. Don't give too much information about yourself because if someone is looking to get over on somebody, they're going to use as much information about you as possible. So don't put too much on there, but make yourself look fun, make yourself look interesting, make it look like you do cool things and stuff like that. It's not hard. You just need 2, 3 pictures, a couple words in your bio, not too much. Now, when you're swiping, I suggest you swipe on things that you really like. Don't I know like you probably in your hometown, you just get on the app and swipe on everybody and see who likes you back. But in these places, that's probably not wise. You want to more so go for verified accounts. You want to go for what you actually like because you're going to get a lot of options regardless of how you look, how your profile is. If you don't look like a fake page, you're going to get a lot of options. So you might as well just swipe on what you actually like. Now you got matches. I suggest keep conversation to a minimum, get their WhatsApp if you want to find out a lot more about them or use them as a way to like practice your Spanish and stuff like that. That's cool too. But like I said, never give them too much information about yourself. She start asking you a lot of questions about you, could be a red flag. Check, see if she's using like a business WhatsApp. A lot of these girls have two different WhatsApps. Um, Check if she's posting on her WhatsApp story to see if like what she's saying about herself actually lines up. Like, oh, she says she lives in this part of the city, but she's showing this part a lot, or she says she's single, but you see her with a guy a lot in her story. Those can be red flags. It could be nothing. A lot of these girls gonna say they have a boyfriend. I mean, they're gonna say they're single regardless, just because they're a working girl. So just like you aren't giving them everything about you, they're not gonna give you everything about them. And when you meet these women, I cannot stress it enough. Is I recommend meeting them in a public place first, but most of y'all not gonna do that. You're just gonna get them to come straight to your room. So make sure you have a place that's vetting women accordingly. Like most of the Airbnbs I'm seeing now, they don't even allow visitors. Some of them do. The hotels, of course, they're gonna want to see IDs, passports, and they're gonna charge you a fee. Your Airbnb, depending on your host, depending on the building, also you might have to give the doorman a little something, which is good so you can make sure you're safe. One thing I am starting to see now is some of the Airbnbs, Colombian woman, she can just have her ID, but when it comes to Venezuelan woman, they want to see their passports too. So you just make sure she has her proper identification for whatever your accommodation requires. Beyond that, I say proceed with caution. Just because she gave her ID doesn't mean she won't still drug you, still rob you, still try to get some guys to get you or something later on. She might try to bait you to go outside or do something like that. So just stay aware. Buy your drinks, buy your condoms, buy all that stuff before she gets there. Have your stuff in a secure location. I recommend you putting your stuff. Make sure like if you have a safe in the room, that's cool. Or if you have like a separate room away from where where you're gonna be at with the girl, put your stuff there and just have the money you're gonna pay her on you or something like that in your pocket. But just be aware of her movements, how she's moving around, if she's doing anything sneaky, because these are short flings. Like it should be handle your business in one space, and she might need to take a shower after that. After she take a shower, she should be leaving. More than likely, she's gonna want to leave unless maybe she fell in love with you. She might want to stay a little longer or something. But 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Easy situation. You don't even have to walk her out. You can if you want to. Some of them will try to finesse also with the taxi. Like they might say um whatever rate they told you that y'all discussed beforehand, that before she even got there, you discussed the rate hopefully, and she might try to add a taxi fee on top of that sometimes. But if she does, it's not a big deal. These are impoverished women and stuff like that. Just it's better, you rather take care of the situation and make it easy and simple than it being like something bigger than what it needs to be. But yeah, make sure you discuss that as well. I forgot to say that when you're talking to her, you know, that's gonna be the main question. It's like how much is whatever you're getting costing and stuff like that. We can talk about um women in long-term situations at a later date. This was just more so for guys going out there using Tinder, trying to get quick flings and stuff like that. And it's more so about the safety of it. It's not hard to be successful with working women. It's not, you got to be very, very slow to mess that up, or to fail at it, because as long as you have the funds, they don't really care. Of course, if you are more attractive, it's going to make it easier for them. You want to make sure your place is clean. You don't, like, if you are bringing different ones back to back, make sure you clean up. Don't have like condom wrappers and stuff hanging around. Like, make yourself look like a nice, presentable guy because it's the small things are important too, and that those are the things that make you look less likely to fall for some dumb shit like getting drugged or whatever or getting robbed and stuff like that because they will take your stuff. And I've heard that the scopolamine can be used in different forms. It doesn't always have to be put into liquid and stuff like that. So you have to be very careful in these places, man. But yeah, man, some safety tips, some Tinder tips. Y'all go out there, be successful, and be safe. As always, love y'all. I'm out. Thanks for 2K subs.